The new exotic mission Heliostat has finally arrived, and with it, so is the new exotic weapon, Wolfsbane. And let me tell you, it was worth the wait. Wolfsbane absolutely slaps. I'm not usually one for swords or melee builds, but this thing is so insanely fun and unbelievably potent, I'm going to have a really hard time putting it down. There's a lot of things that makes Wolfsbane really unique, both in terms of its gameplay as well as how it functions in builds, so I'm really looking forward to experimenting with it. I've been playing with it all day, so I thought I'd put together a video to share what I've been running with it so far and talk about why I'm already loving it. The way Wolfsbane works is that if you damage or kill enemies, it creates quicksilver nanites that attach to you and heal you. These nanites also fill a bar called Nano Assault, which gradually transforms Wolfsbane until at max, you can hold your reload button to buff your attacks. When Nano Assault is active, light attacks do 25% more damage, and fully charged heavy attacks cause a Solar Cyclone, which is pretty similar to the Burning Maul Cyclone. The buff lasts for 10 seconds before it resets Wolfsbane back to its base form. One of the interesting things about Wolfsbane is that although it's technically a sword, it doesn't have an option to block. It's all about that full frontal assault while you rely on the nanites to keep you in the fight. It makes for a really cool, high-risk, high-reward playstyle that mixes offense with defense in a really fun way. The damage from the light attacks don't count as melee damage, but rather everything from Wolfsbane is considered weapon damage. While this does mean that melee-based exotics like Necrotic, Winter's Guile, and Fellwinter's don't work with Wolfsbane, it means you can build around it as you would a weapon, which has a lot of advantages. The most noticeable one, in my opinion, is that melee damage counts as kinetic damage, but on Wolfsbane it instead counts as solar. This opens up a lot of possibilities on solar specifically, and it works amazingly well with my exotic armor of choice, which was Mantle of Battle Harmony. With Mantle, weapon kills that match the element of your super grant you super energy, and when at a full super, those weapons instead get a 25% damage boost, which Wolfsbane can take full advantage of. Not only that, but again, since it all counts as a solar weapon, Wolfsbane can work with Ember of Empyrean to maintain your restoration, can activate Solar Siphon mods, and it also gets a damage increase from Radiant. When it all comes together, you not only get massive damage potential with buffs from Radiant, Mantle, and Nano Assault, but you can maximize your survivability by combining the healing from the nanites with restoration and orbs. Wolfsbane really hits home the idea that the best defense is a good offense, and by removing the separation between weapons and melee damage, Wolfsbane is a blast to build around. So to get into the build, as I mentioned, I chose to go with Solar, and I went with Song of Flame so that when things got tight, I could use the super for its damage resistance while still slaying out with Wolfsbane. For my aspects, I used Hellion to get some Scorch going to help kill adds, and Touch of Flame with a healing grenade so I could get Restoration ×2 into the mix. I chose to use Phoenix Dive since I'm pretty mobile for this build, and it has a slightly faster cooldown so I'll be able to have more Hellions active. For fragments, I went with the Emperor of Tempering to not only get a health boost from solar weapon kills, but also to spawn fire sprites so I could use Ember of Mercy to help maintain my restoration alongside Ember of Empyrean. Ember of Solace was my final pick so I could maximize my restoration uptime. For my armor set, Bushido was the go-to since the damage resistance activates when you deal damage with swords, adding in an extra layer of survivability while I'm elbow deep in enemies. I maxed out my weapon stat and used a weapon font to get up to 200 since solar surges don't stack with Mantle's damage boost. For my other stats, I tried to get grenade and class as close as I could to 100 with fonts to get them across the line. I'd also highly recommend at least one Lucent Blades mod since it makes a big impact on charge time, and I also went with 2 solar ammo generation and 2 heavy ammo finder mods to keep Wolfsbane topped up. Finally, since rapid kills with Wolfsbane will also generate orbs from solar siphons, I threw on 2 recuperation mods to get even more healing into the mix as I collected those orbs. For the artifact mod, Radiant Shrapnel is a great pick since it's really easy to go Radiant from multi-kills with Wolfsbane, but the absolute star is Iron Lord's Vigor, which not only gives you damage resistance when you're wielding a sword, but it also generates ammo on rapid final blows. Wolfsbane already has fantastic ammo generation since every time you activate Nano Assault you get 14 shots back, but this makes sure to keep you always topped up. Those are really the only mods available that synergize directly with Wolfsbane, but I was using Mint Retrograde as my special weapon, so I also went with Threadling Proliferation and Pack Tactics to juice that up. With a hand cannon as my primary, it rounds things off as a triple champ stunner, and I was going back and forth between Agape and Finite Impactor. For For the game plan, you'll want to start off the fight by dropping a healing grenade to activate restoration ×2, then just start swinging. As you kill enemies with Wolfsbane, you'll start generating ammo, dropping orbs to activate your fonts, and spawning fire sprites so you can quickly maximize your restoration. Pop your Phoenix Dive to get a Hellion going as well, or save it for if you get low. Once you're fully stocked on Nano Assault, make sure you activate it to regenerate some ammo, focusing on using as many fully charged heavy attacks as you can. You'll pretty quickly build up a super with Mantle, but do your best to hold on to it until you really need to use it, so you can use as much of that damage boost as possible. And that's about it. Rinse and repeat, and try not to hurt your cheeks from smiling too much. This build is easily one of the most synergistic I've made this season, where every single aspect of it, top to bottom, plays into one another perfectly. The damage output is amazing, even for single targets when you've got Mantle's damage boost and Nano Assault going, but it clears a crowd like nothing else, and it keeps you really healthy while doing it. The gameplay loop is so much fun, and it really shines with the artifact mods. It'll absolutely be a mainstay for me this season. I highly recommend giving this build and Wolfsbane a try if you hadn't had the chance yet, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. There's a dim link down below for this exact build if you want to give it a shot, and let me know in the comments if you think I should make a build for Titans and Hunters as well, and what you think I should run with it. Subscribe to the channel to keep an eye out for more videos soon, and thank you for watching.